All right, welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning, episode 142. Again, follow us on Instagram if you have not yet. But today we're going to be talking about, can Derrick Henry win an MVP this season? Wade, what do you think?
Short answer, no. But I think it's going to go to a quarterback. I mean, it typically does. But I just think that Mahomes is just putting up too good of numbers to not win it personally. I think unless he does something or Derrick Henry leads his team to the Super Bowl or something, I'm going to pick Mahomes. Second, I think I'm going to have to say Aaron Rodgers. He's got the most passing touchdowns out of any of the quarterbacks, and he's doing it with
Kind of a one-dimensional offense with Devontae Adams, really. So.
Not too much help. So I think he's going to be number 2 for me. But I think that if I had to choose someone that was not a quarterback, I'd have to go Derrick Henry. He's putting up crazy numbers, and he's pretty much carrying his team. I think he's got the most rushing yards by more than 100 over Dalvin Cook, most attempts, and second most touchdowns just behind Dalvin Cook. So I think he's putting up incredible numbers. No knock to him, but I think it's going to go to a quarterback this year. Unless he manages to take his team to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, my answer is also going to be no, but not because Derrick Henry isn't MVP caliber. It's just because Patrick Mahomes is too good. I mean, everything you picture in an MVP, he is. He's the quarterback, the leader of the best team in the league. When you look at a guy like Aaron Rodgers, who is arguably as good as Mahomes, you notice Aaron Rodgers has dropped games to Minnesota, dropped a game to Indianapolis, almost dropped a game to Jacksonville. Just things that Mahomes has not done. So for me, Aaron Rodgers is not really in contention, seriously in contention to beat Mahomes, just because a couple slip-ups there, and Aaron Rodgers has just kind of been under the radar for me. Of course, his stats are fantastic. Most touchdowns in the league, only 4 interceptions, 33 touchdowns that is. Second in QBR. I mean, he's fantastic, but like Wade mentioned, he's kind of got a one-dimensional approach just with targeting Devontae Adams. I think that harms his MVP, just his MVP stock, just because he's not versatile in that sense. So for me, it's going to be between Mahomes and Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, like we mentioned, obviously not very common. Does a non-quarterback win MVP? The last one to do it was Adrian Peterson, I think, in 2011. That might be wrong, but I think Derrick Henry's on pace to have more yards than he did that year. So for me, the reason why Derrick Henry is so prominent in the race is he's so valuable to his team. I mean, if you look at Tennessee's offense, you have arguably an average quarterback in Ryan Tannehill that just works well with the system he's in. I mean, you have solid weapons around him, A.J. Brown, Jonnu Smith. So, I mean, Tennessee's offense is bad, that's for sure, but Derrick Henry really carries it. So when I look at that team, I just think that they're really nothing without him, without Derrick Henry. He's so valuable to that team, most valuable player, MVP. I think that's really what Derrick Henry is. But for a guy like Patrick Mahomes, 30 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions, 1 loss. He doesn't drop games that the other team doesn't earn. It's going to be clearly Mahomes for me this season. But if not him, I'm going to say Derrick Henry.
So, I don't know when is MVP voting? Is it after everything?
The voting occurs, I think, before the playoffs. So obviously nothing in the playoffs.
Before the playoffs?
I don't think anything in the playoffs is really accounted for. I could be wrong, so I'm really not sure.
All right. So I was gonna say I think that if the playoffs are counted, they're gonna have to go head-to-head, I believe, to see who goes to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I would say that if Derrick Henry won that, then I'd give that edge to him. But since it's not counted, then
yeah. Like I said, I think Derrick Henry is an MVP caliber player, but that would make Mahomes a 2 MVP caliber player. I mean, he's just that good. Like I said, best QBR in the league, second most touchdowns.
And I was gonna mention something about Aaron Rodgers. You sort of knocked the one-dimensional thing for him. I thought that just proved that he was able to do more with less. He's done that sort of his whole career. So I think that almost strengthens it, considering that he only has one really good wide receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, he does have a couple other solid ones, but I think that strengthens his case. But I do agree with you that Patrick Mahomes right now is on a collision course with winning the MVP.
Yeah.
But I would love to see a non-quarterback win. I think that'd be a good thing to see. But as of right now, unless Patrick Mahomes breaks his arm or something, I don't see him losing.
And guys that we didn't even really mention, Russell Wilson has kind of effectively got himself out of the conversation. Outside of those first 4 games where he was clear front runner, he had that stretch in the middle. That was like 3 games where he threw more picks than touchdowns. So for me, Russell Wilson is out of the conversation. And then guys like Kyler Murray just dropped a game to New England, and he was kind of a wild card MVP anyway. So he's out of the picture, and then I guess Josh Allen probably jumped both of them and maybe moves into the 4 spot. But really, it's between Mahomes and Henry for me. But I got Mahomes.
What other non-quarterback do you think will give Derrick Henry a run for his money?
Dalvin Cook for sure, just because, like you said, leading in touchdowns. Or did you say rushing yards?
Second in rushing yards behind Derrick.
Gotcha. So yeah, it would be Dalvin Cook if it's not Derrick Henry. If it's not a quarterback, but for me, Dalvin Cook. I don't know. I don't think the Vikings are really a important enough team to have an MVP player. Again, I don't know how much that takes, or the voters take into account of how good is the team that the player's on.
Yeah.
But if it's not a quarterback, it would be Derrick Henry, and if it's not Derrick Henry, it would be Patrick Mahomes.
I agree with that.
All right, 2 in the morning.